You're listening to REGNAD Radio.
But I mean, in terms of existing there at one point, procreating, making more of us. Like, we don't do that anywhere other than Earth. So does time exist outside Earth? But surely it exists because it takes time as we know it, the calculation of moment to moment, to get from Jupiter to Mars. However much time that is, I couldn't tell you, but it takes time. But that's only to us. And if there is to be another form of life outside of Earth, people are going to think I'm obsessed with aliens, but do we think that the concept of time applies to them?
Of course it does.
Does it have to?
The thing is, the concept of time applies to absolutely everything. The definition of time is probably different depending on where you go. Because, for example, that's one of the reasons why, in a way, we have different calendars, I think, all over the world. Everyone's kind of perception of time is slightly more skewed. Some people specifically base it on the sun. Some people base it on the moon. Some people base it, like, you know... Because
it used to be referred to as, like, moon cycles and stuff like that.
Exactly, lunar cycles. Like, and as we know, like, the reason we think time is a real thing, it has... Obviously, it has a direct connection with, like, distance, as you said. How long it will take you to cover a distance is a time. It will always be like a specific digit. So our definition of it, I feel like it's the constant in the universe that actually is just it's. So
is it like, it's like the one thing we all agree on?
There's a word for it. Inflammable? No, I don't think that's the
Infallible?
word.
I don't know what that
infallible?
word... I don't really know what that word means.
I think infallible just means it can't be argued with.
Right.
It's something you.
But surely it does if China have their own calendar.
Well, this is
and
the
their
thing.
own New Year.
I think, but that's just the thing. All over the world, there are different times currently.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You go somewhere else, it's a different
That's because
time.
the sun rises at a different time.
Exactly. Like, we've all accepted, like, most people have accepted the Gregorian calendar as far as we know. Do you know what I mean? But there are some people, as we know, like the Mayans didn't. World was supposed to end
this year, bro.
Was it this year?
This year.
It's not over yet. Mad thing. Touch wood.
Don't do it.
It's mad. But yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting thing because we defined it, but we had nothing to do with its. Its existence. Do you know what I mean? It was just something we needed to know because I think without a measurement of time, it would be a bit mad, fam. We wouldn't know what's going. Imagine if there
was no time.
No, if we just didn't have a measurement because we knew. I don't know how to do that. I don't even know how.
You would have to work sun up. It would have to be sun up to sundown. That's the only way we would
all the time. But that's still. But that's still like. Yeah, I guess that's
the only way
it
would
follow.
work.
Yeah.
Sun up to sundown.
Like, and I guess how we measured it over time.
At what point did we start saying, "All right, cool, when we were like, all right, cool, the sun is at this point in the sky."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's when we started doing
We used the sky for so much stuff.
And then we created the dial, I'm guessing, and then we attributed numbers to it.
I don't think it was the dial straight. Well, yeah, pretty much the dial. Some form of dial. Someone
after
stuck
a shadow or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Someone stuck a stick in the ground. They were like, every hour, the shadow would.
Who was the Don or Donette who realized our entire thing is based around this big ass yellow ball?
I want to Google it. Get your phone, Google it. I think we should because this is
who discovered time?
Who defined time? Perhaps maybe. Where did the definition of time come from? I don't know, fam.
Defined time. The measurement of time began with the invention of sundials in ancient Egypt, sometime prior to 1500 BC. However, the time the Egyptians measured was not the same as the time today's clock measures. For the Egyptians, and indeed a further 3 millennia, the basic unit of time was the period of daylight. Yeah. Fucking hell. So did we know that, or were we just smart enough to figure that out? Did we know that subconsciously? Probably, innit?
Well, yeah, because we understood there was a point where obviously we got to winter now and we were like, rah, this is a short day. Because
the clock just went back and all that.
Yeah, bro, you're just like, rah, this is a short day.
Yeah,
like, where's the sun? Yo, what on?
Yeah. But we put the clocks back.
But we put the clocks back, because we
No, we put the clocks back. The sun didn't decide to go down earlier. Or did it? Because we have now manipulated time. Do you see what I'm saying,
No,
bro?
I don't think we manipulated time like that. I think we followed the time of the sun. I think you're putting us first. No, with the sun, we've noticed that the sun just isn't in the sky as long as
it usually was.
So we've chopped off that amount of time to help balance that. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise it wouldn't make sense. You get me?
Right.
Because obviously, if it's, say, for example, sunset was at 4:00, but for some reason we're at 5:00 and we're expecting the sun to still be up, then that's our bad. Like, we should have known to put the clocks back. So by 4:00, we're aligned. Sunset, boom. Cool. Do you know what I mean?
It is mad that the sun sets at 4:00. Think about that. The sun sets at 9 in summer. The sun sets. The sun has we're on this big ass spinny thing. Yeah, we're now in the stage of this cycle of spin where the sun sets. The sun is no longer visible after 4:00, bruv.
I think there's a bigger thing that you're touching on, right? Which is quite interesting. Is our essentially our definition of time, essentially, but that goes into distance, length, measure the seasons themselves, like how long. Do you know what I mean? And as we know, certain seasons have got really long and certain seasons have got really short because, well, we keep fucking up the world. But moving on, we've spoken about that. But like, I think it's really interesting to just know that we think we have control, but we don't.
You know, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him what you got planned, bro. Come on.
Jeez.
I said that before.
I think you have, but I just like it, fam.
I heard it in one of them black movies that I used to watch as a kid, and it just stuck with me, brother. I was like, raw.
Yeah, deeper level, fam. Because we think we know, and everyone's just like, I've said this before as well. Look, I've got nothing against the definition of mankind. As I said, some things are just they can't be argued with. They're just there. Do you know what I mean? I understand, like, you know, the definition of oxygen. That was a requirement. Do you know what I mean? For humanity, we need to understand why things are there, give them names, etc., etc. But we keep doing this stupid thing where we forget we are not the originator. We did not. Its existence we have nothing to do with. Remember that. Do you know what I mean? It was all here already.
Don't take it for granted, kind of thing.
Don't take it for granted. Don't take the piss. Do you know what I mean?
That's what we're doing.
Just because you want to try, look what I discovered. Keyword discovered, not created. That's the most important thing. Created, fine. Do what you want. That's why, you know what I mean? If you have youths, you might raise them in a certain way. You do what you want because you created them. Fine. Everything else, it's not your legislation, bruv. You can't tell man nothing. Really, you can't. The earth I walk on.
We drew lines on the map and said this is.
This is ours. It's all shocking behaviour if you deep it. Do you know what I mean? It's really shocking behaviour because we said this is what we're gonna do.